Chapter 3. Captain of the Lord's Host. Upon Joshua's arrival in the very luscious and wealthy land of milk and honey known as Jericho, he meets a captain. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and, behold, there stood a man over against him, with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him, and said unto him, Art thou for us, or for our adversaries? And he said, Nay, but I am captain of the Lord, I am now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth, and bowed down, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant? Joshua 5:13-14. It appears that this captain may have played a pivotal role in the taking of Jericho, as Joshua met him immediately beforehand, and because the captain had the intention of leading the Lord's host to help the Israelites with their adversaries. The captain commands Joshua to loose thy shoe from thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. Joshua 5:15. Jericho was anything but holy, and the Lord had cursed the place, and the city shall be accursed. Joshua 6:17. Joshua is in the presence of the chosen man of God, as cliché as it may sound, which is the reason for such reverence and the removal of his sandals. This command is reminiscent of Moses' encounter with God at the burning bush, where Moses was also told to remove his sandals because of the holy ground upon which he was standing. Exodus 3:16. Another clue to the identity of this newly introduced enigmatic man of faith is where the Bible calls him Captain of the Lord's Host. Joshua 5:15. Of all the heavenly God encounters throughout the Bible, this is one of the most divine. Seldom do sandals have to be removed and heads bowed. This captain is clearly a man of striking stature and importance, with unsurpassable talents in leadership and warfare strategy. He is the man of the hour, the man God has chosen to unite with, as he does with Gideon later in the book of Judges, and many other leading characters within the Bible. Joshua was notified beforehand that the living God was among them, and Joshua was expecting to meet a captain at some preliminary stage. And Joshua said, Hereby ye shall know that the living God is among you, and that he will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Hivite, and the Perizzite, and the Girgashite, and the Amorite, and the Jebusite. Joshua 3:10. Joshua was no fool, and he understood that this particular captain was the man united with God, whose purpose it was to lead them all to victory. Here is another encouraging verse affirming God's presence with this army. And the city shall be devoted, even it and all that is therein, to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the devoted thing, lest ye make yourselves accursed by taking of the devoted thing. So should ye make the camp of Israel accursed, and trouble it. Joshua 6:17-18. The commander of Joshua's army considers very carefully the well-being and cleanliness of his chosen men of faith. This would not be of concern to this captain if he was some opportunist taking advantage under the name of the Lord, who is now issuing the orders to Joshua. No, his level of understanding and caring for Joshua's army sounds more like the direct orders from God. Now he, on the other hand, would be concerned, as a father is for his children. Joshua's servile deference and submissive manner toward a singular captain with whom he briefly encountered explicitly defines this highly revered and important new character. The concerted efforts and inspirational audacity of these two legendary crusaders with whom God had chosen to lead his people to victory would mark the beginning of a monumental conquest stretching far beyond the visions and boundaries of their forefathers. This angelic visitation and intervention was much needed after the two spies dispatched prior to Joshua's arrival at Jericho accidentally increased the alertness of the entire city. The captain was sent as a resolution for disastrous situations such as these and their avoidance in future conflicts. The mastermind. Shortly after the glorified introduction of our highly esteemed and illustrious man of honour, the Lord begins issuing orders to Joshua on how to commence the battle plan. Just like Gideon, the new captain of the Lord's host was the mastermind, having the tactical know-how and possibly a few technical advantages that would decide many of these battles, which is why the Lord used him. But he is mysteriously unmentioned in this battle. He has disappeared. If this captain is chosen by God to help defeat Joshua's adversaries, then why is he not acknowledged in the Battle of Jericho? Is it not he who is to defeat all their enemies without fail? The Lord would not have picked him otherwise. His involvement in the next battle, is apparent, but for some reason he and his host are not mentioned at Jericho despite having just arrived and announced that he is God's chosen one. There are two armies, Joshua's main army and the captain's reinforcements, the Lord's host, who are nowhere to be seen. His brief appearance and then disappearance only adds to the mystery surrounding this covert character who is inexplicably unrecognised in this battle. There is no indication as to what the captain is doing or if he participates in this battle at all, but he does make an appearance beforehand. Where on earth is he if he was sent to help Joshua with his adversaries, and why is he not being acknowledged for his involvement? These are very important, albeit hazardous questions, but one thing to note is that in other battles he is the surprise attack.